Go down one more. There we go. Okay. Oh. Oops. Okay. What?
Scroll down.
Oh, down?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. During the week of November 17th through the 24th, I interviewed women from 3 Hispanic families. The 12 women and girls ranged from the ages of 11 to 37 and were given the same 24 questions. Of the 12 women, 4 were married. 1 woman reported a separation in her marriage, giving complicated as her status. The initial age of marriage for these women ranged from 17 to 20. Of the women reporting marriage, 3 also reported having children. In addition, 1 unmarried woman also claimed a 2-month-old daughter, and another woman was pregnant. The children of the 3 families were predominantly female, and many were in or approaching their teenage years. For these interviews, I was accompanied by my Spanish-speaking cousin Angel, who was also the sister-in-law of the female head of household, the matron, of the first house we visited. After being introduced as Angel's paternal second cousin, I was deemed trustworthy enough to conduct the interviews. Both houses were immaculately clean. The men in both houses that I visited removed themselves from the living room and secluded themselves in a back room where I did not see them for the rest of the night. When I started the interviews in the first household, I could tell that the mother was nervous as to where my information was ultimately going to end up. It was then that I decided to ensure the names of all the women would remain anonymous. I did not inquire as to their legal status. However, some of the girls implied that they weren't legalized citizens. After concluding the interviews in both households, I was asked how many more women I needed for my interviews. The daughters then excitedly volunteered to look up possible interviewees on their cell phones. The eldest mothers of each household were also the most powerful females. However, the power of the male head of household was unknown, as I was only able to observe them for a limited time. Upon being asked what was required of the matrons, there being 3 of them, laughingly responded, "Everything," and further elaborated that everything meant maintaining the household as well as the children within. However, household chores were not limited to the matron, but were responsibilities expected of each of the children of the household, regardless of age. The eldest were commonly responsible for assisting with the care of their youngest siblings. Aside from household duties, 9 of the women interviewed were also employed, mostly in the Dallas and Baraboo area. All held unskilled jobs such as cleaning and babysitting, while 2 of the women tended to a family store in addition to working unskilled jobs. The most common ages these women reported starting their first job ranged from 11 to 16, with 12 being the age most reported. 2 women with reported ages of 19 and 20 being the initial age of employment seemed to be outliers. These 2 women were also among the 3 women who were over 30 years old. When not working or taking care of house and home, these women, like many other women in the United States, enjoyed their hobbies and time off. Technology played an important role in the pastimes of each woman. Watching television was the most commonly chosen hobby, with music a close second. 8 of the 12 women reported attending church or religious services. However, only 6 of the 8 said they attended church frequently. In 2 of the households that I visited, a statue of the Lady of Guadalupe stood either in the kitchen or dining area. I was told by the family of the 3rd matron that she also held a statue of the Lady Guadalupe. The statue of Guadalupe may or may not reflect on church attendance, but could reflect on spirituality and culture. Historically, inhabitants of Central America held female deities in high regards. When the Spanish tried to convert these natives to Christianity, Mary, mother to Jesus, fit most with the native beliefs. Mary became a deity and is affectionately called the Lady of Guadalupe. The attendances of the mothers in church seem to directly affect the attendance and attitudes of their daughters. Influenced by the parents, though perhaps not as strongly as religion, was the language spoken predominantly in each household. 4 women reported Spanish as the language they were most comfortable speaking and understanding. 3 of these 4 were also the matrons of their households. The children of these matrons spoke both English and Spanish, but spoke predominantly Spanish in the household and English in their schools. Often, they translated for their mothers while out in public. Only 2 of the women interviewed reported some experience in a language other than Spanish and English. In this case, the 3rd language was French. Some negative aspects perceived by these women about the United States included inequality, racism, and deportation. The fear of deportation and subsequent separation of the family was particularly pronounced in one family after a recent arrest of a male family member. When asked about what is most desirable about the United States, the availability of jobs, as well as educational services and financial assistance, were at the forefront. One of the girls, a high school student, stated that here there were more opportunities in school and that in Mexico there were no after-school activities or government aid for continuing education. 3 of the women hoped to one day go to Mexico after saving up enough money to purchase a house there. Many of the daughters, however, would also have preferred to live where they've spent most of their lives. These girls had grown accustomed to different technology and had invested in dreams of a future here, such as going to college to seek a professional career. All 12 of the women had fostered the idea of attending or continuing college. 2 had rejected the idea because they considered themselves too old, being in their 30s. However, they hoped that their daughters would be able to have the opportunity to do so. One of the 12 women has previously attended a school in the UW system. 4 of the 12 women expressed a desire to go to college, but were discouraged because they did not have Social Security cards and therefore could not enroll. One woman stated that she would certainly attend college if she spoke English better and also if she had familial support. In this post-industrialized society, high-skilled laborers are in demand, which calls for a college education to increase the chances of a steady career to build one's life off of. With the Hispanic population increasing in the nation as well as Sauk County, one can expect more Hispanic Americans entering the workforce. Hispanic men and women will be looking for jobs and an equal chance to make a comfortable living. In order to have an equal chance, Hispanic Americans will need colleges with accessibility. The main concern for the 12 women I interviewed was to somehow attain the money required to enroll in college. Each had expressed that with financial aid, their chance of attending college would substantially increase. Translation services would also be an essential addition for some of these women and to many in the Hispanic community. More Hispanic Americans enrolling in college means a greater vision of hope and attainability to both young and old not yet enrolled. College educations enrich individuals as well as the community. Having a college degree now may ensure a greater sense of the world around an individual as well as a greater paycheck. Having more disposable income means that an individual can spend it on local businesses, which will ensure economic growth within a community. Currently, this campus has 1 employee fluent in Spanish assigned to the Student Services Office. This person is scheduled for 2 days out of the week, with a 3rd day appearing every other week. For the rest of the week, it may be difficult to assist Hispanic American prospective students that can only speak Spanish. This incidence may discourage Hispanics in such a situation against enrolling or to continue enroll, which would not only result in a loss of profit for the campus, but also a loss in the sense of cultural diversity. Our campus does see some ethnic diversity, but perhaps not enough to allow students to experience different cultures and ideals. In UW-Baraboo Sauk County's Start Ahead pamphlet, individuals of Hispanic origin seem to be underrepresented. Hispanics visiting our campus would see a predominantly white student body. If the campus projected Hispanic enrollment through such pamphlets as Start Ahead, the student body may become more diverse, visually encouraging those who are on the cusp of enrolling. With a growth in the Hispanic population of Sauk County, it is beneficial for the UW-Baraboo Sauk County campus to reach out to Hispanic communities, not only because it is profitable, but because it enriches the lives of all students and faculty on campus and creates a viable future for all.